Welcome into Combines Gaming. Today we're going to talk about a mod, Courseplay. This mod makes a lot of things in FarmSim automated, in a sense, and is a way to do things that you can't do with the normal AI. So if I was going to do this field with the normal AI, I would hold H, tell it yup, and then it would create my lines. Or, well, that'd be the AI. Or I could use the steering assist to create my lines. It's not what we want. While there are things you can do with this, especially with just the AI worker telling it to skip lines, things like that, it can still get convoluted. So we don't really care about that. To do it better, we're going to use Courseplay. So, I'm going to get in this one. We're going to open this field, because the thing you always want to do is, with Courseplay, is start on a field. Okay, so now that we're in the field, we are going to click this little bullseye here. And you always want to pick field position. So, field position. For this instance, we can set up multiple tools, but we're not interested in that right now. We're going to change this so you can do an up and down. And if we generate the field coursework, it'll show you an up and down. I think that's with no headlands, which makes no sense. One headland. That's all fine. Sharpen headland, yes. Corner radius, all good. We're going to change this to lands, which is more accurate to how farming is actually done with this type of crop. And we're going to hit generate. So we have a generated course. We're going to go in here. So this is what popped up. I'm going to come down here. We're going to create a new folder. We're going to call it F25 for field 25. And then we are going to save the course as single harvester. So, as you can see, this is how it would do it. And we can hit our little eyeball here, and it'll show you all the ways that it's going to go. Now, since we have two harvesters, we're going to go back in here. We're going to select single harvester, go to fieldwork settings, and we're going to change the number of tools. So that's the number of vehicles on the same course to 2. We don't want them to switch lanes. And number of headlands is how many headlands each harvester is going to make. So we have 2, and each of them are going to make 1 headland. So we're going to generate this course. So you'll see that there are pieces missing, right? We're going to go in here, and we're going to save this course as dual harvester. So not only have I showed you how to make single and dual, we'll use the single later to automate something. So, biggest thing we need to do for this is one of them has to be left and one has to be right. You can see how it changes. So this one is left. We're going to tell him to start at the first waypoint. And we're going to tell him to go. And this is way more intuitive than the standard AI that comes in the game. So now we're going to switch to our other harvester. We're going to kind of pull him up here. And where it says no course, we're going to click. We're going to go to our course manager, select dual harvester, load the course, go back, and we want him to be right. And we do want a little bit of space between these two, because they can collide and cause a big mess. So basically, this guy's going to go this way, he's going to come back around, and then he's going to cut in and start this land. So we're going to let them get a little space, and then we are going to hit first waypoint. That's this right here. The stop sign is last waypoint. You can also click nearest, but we're starting, so first waypoint, go. and he's going to start going, and they're going to start working in unison. Ish. The AI is better than the standard AI, but not the best. So, the nice thing with this, with Courseplay, is we can also run an auger wagon. And yes, normally you could just run the auger wagon. Except for in this case, we want them to auto-unload. Now it gets a little tricky when they're doing the headlands. If they get full, they'll carve out a new spot. It gets a little weird. So we're going to pull our auger wagon in here. We're going to hit the bullseye. So we always set field position, like I said before. And with this, we want to set our target position a little bit ahead of us. We're going to tell them to unload the combine, and then we're going to hit start job. Now, he is set to empty at 85, so this can be a little confusing. When he reaches 85%, he's going to look for the closest semi. And we are going to pull that semi in. Could leave him on the road, but we're going to pull him in. We may have to move the auger wagon at some point, but we're good there. So he's just waiting. Now, we do have to go in here. We're going to click, this is the name of the equipment. This is the MF8570, so the Massey Ferguson 8570. If we click this, we can change a whole bunch of settings. Okay. Avoid driving the fruit sometimes works. But combine setting we're most interested in is call for the unloader. So we want it to call when it's at 80%. You could make it higher. If you've got a bigger field, you could lower it. It's going to call it to come in. We also want a straw swath for this wheat. Slow down time. So he's not going to call the auger wagon until he reaches 80% full. So right now, the auger wagon has probably been called by either... Well, it's getting close. And he may just be getting out of the way. Sometimes it takes them a little bit if they're doing it this way. He's going to tell the auger wagon to move. And he's going to do some goofy things. Probably run into the semi, because the semi is not automated. So he's going to cut in and start his land. Now I'm guessing... So he's going to start cutting his land. The auger wagon's just doing its own thing, and that's fine. But this one has apparently called early. And it may be a different... We're going to check that. So his call is set to 60%. So he's going to call the auger wagon at 60. And he's going to unload. Now one thing you may have to adjust with the auger wagon is offset. So if he's a little too close, we can tell him to move left. We'll just go to 0.5. And he'll unload him. Now sometimes they will turn in unison, but sometimes they will not. So he's going to tell him to get out of the way, and he's going to do the weird loop. Now, he's full, and so on these initial lands, he's probably going to come cut in a little bit, to allow room for the auger wagon to slide in here. We're just going to wait on him. Needs to be unloaded. You can see that up here. It'll tell you which one if you hover over it. So he's going to come in. Try not to drive in the fruit. And then go empty that combine. This combine should stop without hitting him. I say should. He's gonna unload him. Now the beginning is where it can always get a little hairy, especially with multiple harvesters. So we told this guy to empty at 85 or above. This is our auger wagon. He's going to move out, and we can change that to 80 if we want to. But he's going to get out of the way. We can also change a couple other things with him. We can change his backup speed, so we may want it to go a little faster. We can change his turn speed, his fieldwork speed, all that stuff. And then we'll just hit back. So now, he's set to 80. To go dump on the semi. He's gonna try. Yep, he's just gonna drive right through it. Which is fine, we have crop destruction off, especially for AI. And the auger wagon is going to find the closest semi or trailer to empty into. And he's going to come up and do just that, all on his own. Let me show you that. You can jump out. But you can watch him. Jump on our Peterbilt. Maybe. Nope, can't. Anyways, he's unloading. And that's what we wanted. As soon as he's done unloading, once he gets a call from one of the harvesters, he'll go unload them and continue the process. So this is a great way, especially with if you're playing 4x, 5x, 10x fields, that you can automate this part. And just haul the semis back and forth with the grain. So he's just going to set back up kind of at his start point and wait for one of them to call him again. He's at 29. He's at 34. And he'll just keep doing that in a circle. So that combine just told the auger wagon to move. He moved out of the way. He's going to keep going. He's going to end up doing the same. Probably coming over here. The other nice thing about coursework, or Courseplay, is it'll tell you an approximate time frame for completing the task. If we're doing this with one harvester, it'd probably take us, well, it would take us double the time. We're doing this with two. So he's going to try to get in position and probably tell the auger wagon he needs to move. It may come up blocked by object. Yep, so he's moving on his own. And this is the basics of harvesting with Courseplay. So he's got a call from someone. Might still be this one. What's his call at? His call's at 60. We could change it to 80. So they're calling at the same time, but that's fine. He's gonna empty on him. And then the auger wagon will wait until he is 80% full before dumping. The lowest this can go is 40. And I have seen where they will turn together and run together. For your larger combines, you may have to adjust your offset left or right to even bigger. You know, I've had one, I think it's 2 meters. The negative means to the left, positive means to the right. And those combines are just going to keep harvesting while he empties them and then empties into the semi. We have a fully finished field, 2 harvesters, automated combine unload into a semi with an auger wagon. It's a thing of beauty. Well, we appreciate you stopping in. Hope you learned something. If you have some questions, drop them in the comments. Like and subscribe for more tutorials, especially on some of these awesome gameplay mods like Courseplay. And I hope you have a great day.